everyone, my name is Heather Autumn and welcome to my channel. Alright, it is raining today. Not snowing, raining, and I couldn't be happier. It's gonna be in the 50s today, so that's almost practically open your windows kind of weather. I'm not wearing a jacket, and maybe that's a little ambitious. I am a little chilly right now, but I just couldn't. I'm so over it. So today, I'm gonna show you guys how to make some pistachio muffins, and then there's also going to be a potato tart that I'm gonna make, and that's kind of in favor of St. Patty's Day that's coming up. So I'm gonna go and take you along with me. I'm gonna get some ingredients, maybe get some breakfast. Should be fun, and I'm happy to take you along. Look at the mountains of snow and ice. It's crazy. All right, so I'm here at Market Basket. Maybe we'll pick up some Guinness and get this party started. Hopefully the lighting won't be too bad in my kitchen. Just started to kind of rain, but now the sun's starting to come out. It's just a very springish day. It kind of feels like spring, and I don't know, I live for this part of the year because I swear, there's this moment I get really depressed actually during the winter. And my mom used to get super depressed as well, to the point where she needed medication. I shouldn't laugh. I don't know why I think that's funny, because it's not. There's just this moment I remember when I first moved up here where I looked outside and everything is dead. I was fully convinced that nothing would ever grow again. I'm like, it's all dead. I will never see another leaf. It's never gonna be warm. And then it was like a week later, it broke and it started heating up and buds on the trees started coming out. But I swear there's this dark night of the soul. It happens every year for me where I just have a moment of deep depression where I'm like, I'm probably gonna die. It's fine. Everything's dead anyway. It's just so bad. So anyway, super happy that it is nice today. It's a boost to my heart and my spirit. So we're gonna start making these pistachio muffins. And I love these so much. For me, this is what I think of when I think of spring. I typically don't get these because I would eat them every day. Probably not the healthiest choice. But when I'm going camping or when I go into P-Town or on a trip, sometimes if it's early in the morning, I'll grab one. I don't know, it has this flavor that makes me think of spring. And also it's green, which is so nice because nothing's green right now. It's all dead. I can't wait to make this. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'm gonna show you all the steps. Now, as always, with this, as well as any other recipe, check the description below because I will link to my blog where I'll have everything written out step by step. And I also have other things from St. Patty's Day. For example, last year I made little mini shepherd's pies, which were so good, and it was a really good video too, so lots of views. But again, check out the description. I'll have everything linked there and extra videos and things like that. All right, so the first thing you want to do is take your softened butter and mix that with your sugar. Now I'm going to be using my stand mixer back here, but if you don't have one and you just have a handheld mixer, that will work just fine. So once you've beaten that a little bit for about a minute or so, you're going to add in your eggs and your vanilla. After that, you're going to put in your pudding mix, your baking powder, your salt, and then your milk. And you're gonna stir that to combine, or just, let the mixer do its thing. After that, you're gonna stir in your flour. That was a rookie mistake with the flour. If you're gonna mix flour and your dry ingredients in a mixer, start off at the lowest setting and gradually move up. Don't just go up, because you'll end up with a mess like I do now. So at first I was nervous that the mixture was too dry, but then as I kind of continued to mix it, it loosened up. And so now it's a really soft kind of, I want to say like a pudding texture. If you're going to be adding nuts to yours, which I'm going to be doing, you're going to fold in your chopped unsalted pistachios. Make sure they're unsalted. Unfortunately, the only non-salted pistachios I could find were in shells, so I guess I'm gonna have to separate them. Makes about 12 muffins, and you're going to take out your baking tin and line your muffins, and then you're going to fill each one about 3/4 of the way full. And then you're going to take some granulated sugar and sprinkle that on top, and that's going to make this nice crunchy sweet little crust on top. So you're gonna preheat your oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit, and you're gonna bake them for about 7 minutes. And then from there, you're gonna reduce the heat to 350 degrees, and you're gonna bake them for another 9 minutes to 11 minutes. Am I reading this recipe? Yes. After that, you're gonna remove them and let them sit until they're nice and cool, and go from there. So now that these are all done, I'm gonna go and give them a try. All right, if it's a little dark, we just had a huge storm kind of roll in, and so like the clouds are super gray and it's getting a little windy, so it's gonna storm any moment. But I wanted to show you how these muffins turned out. I had to use the gold wrapper because it's St. Patty's Day. That looks like it's from the store. I'm really proud of that, so I'm gonna give this a try. I will say that I had to bake them a little bit longer than what was said on the recipe, but I also waited for the tops to get just a little bit browned. All right, so I'm gonna open that up. All right, so I'm gonna give this a try and tell you how it compares to like the kind you get at grocery stores. So here it goes. So here's the thing, if I really like a recipe I've had at a restaurant, I will go out of my way to try to recreate it, even if it's unhealthy. And the reason I don't have these in my house is because I would eat them all the time. These taste exactly like the kind you get at like the supermarket. They have that classic pistachio muffin taste. If you've never tried one, try one at the store first and then make these because they're identical. And it makes 12 of them. So now I have these in my house. So I'm gonna finish this muffin off, and I think I'm gonna pick this up tomorrow just because the weather is looking awful and it's definitely gonna mess around with my lighting and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna call it, maybe do some cleaning around the house, and I will see you tomorrow. All right, it is the next day. It's 2 o'clock. I've spent most of the morning doing some spring cleaning and things like that. So I'm gonna show you how to make a potato pie. Yeah, I'm just gonna get started, see where this goes. I've never made it before. So that's part of the procrastination that happened today, is I kept thinking, oh, I'll make it later. And I think what it was is that when it's a new recipe and I don't know how it's gonna turn out, I start overthinking it. And by the way, this is like a pattern for my whole life. Like if I don't know how it's gonna go, I will procrastinate and overthink. I'm in therapy. So we're gonna make it, we're gonna see how it goes. And I'm gonna get started on that now rather than later. All right, so the first thing you wanna do is preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and get that all heated up and ready to go. I got some pie pastry, and usually you keep it in the freezer, and I put mine in the fridge overnight so that it would be nice and thawed. And what you wanna do is take that out and put it on preferably a tart pan, which I have, and you're just gonna push it down on the base of that pan as well as on the edges and crimp the edges, but that's gonna form the base of your pie, and you're gonna stick it in the fridge until you're ready to use it again. point, we're gonna go and start cooking the mix that we're gonna put into the pie crust. And we're gonna start this by adding our bacon to a hot pan. From there, you're gonna go and you're gonna add in your onions, and you're gonna cook those till those are pretty soft. And from there, you're gonna add in your potatoes as well as your dill, and you're gonna season it with some salt. You're also gonna add in pepper, which for some reason I forgot. From here, you're gonna go and stir that and cook it for about 3 to 5 minutes in the bacon grease. So you're gonna get all of those bacon flavors cooked in and mixed in with your potatoes. So your potatoes don't have to be cooked all the way through, but at this point, you're gonna go and start transferring them into your pie pan. So you're gonna layer them all nice, and you're gonna top that with some of your heavy cream. From there, you're gonna place the rack in your oven to the lowest area, and you're gonna bake it for about 35 to 45 minutes. Now, whenever I have a 10-minute range like that, I usually like to go right in the middle. So I would say personally, I'm gonna be baking this for around 40 minutes. Potatoes should be really nice and soft. When you put a fork in them, it should come right out, and the crust should be golden brown. From here, you're gonna let it sit and rest for about 10 minutes, and then you're gonna sprinkle it with chives or green onions if that's what you have. And from here, I'm gonna pour an Irish Guinness, and I'm going to cut into this and give it a try. All right, so the sun is starting to set, but here is the pie. I got a little bit of everything on there, including some of the chives and the dill that I put on top. Got some bacon and of course, some of the crust. So I'm gonna give this a try. It's not bad. It's a potato pie. Okay, so do I think it could use like a topping, like sour cream, I don't know, ketchup, maybe some cheese, anything else that you would normally put on potatoes could probably go as a topper on this pie. It's just kind of on the bland side, even with the bacon. I do see how it could be a very good hangover meal because it's very starchy. It doesn't have a lot of strong flavors, so if your stomach's a little on edge, this might actually be perfect for that. But other than that, it didn't turn out bad. Something that doesn't go in the trash is a win. All right, so this is a travel and food vlog, and if you like that kind of stuff, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It helps my channel and it lets you know when I have a new video out, which is every Sunday at around 3 p.m. EST. So I also do slice of life, and I do shorts every now and then and things like that. So you'll know about all of them if you subscribe. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next Sunday with a new episode. All right, bye.